Hey everybody, got a message for today. So as you can see, I have a new hat on today. This was the hat that my buddy gave me, the third one that he gave me for my baptism. It says "Y'all need Jesus." So I've been wearing that out. Wore it to get some coffee this morning. Nobody said anything, but people got to see it. So that's what it's all about: spreading the word, even in a nonchalant kind of way, getting it out there and talking about that. But today, I have been seeing a lot of, let's say, online um, coaches, um, online psychologists, not so much psychiatrists, but psychologists, and just people who are looking for people that need help and need to talk about stuff or whatever. So I kind of came up and brainstormed with, the most common things that people go to a psychologist for. I kind of wanted to talk about that. So these are the acting out behaviors, um, would be like worry, anger, anxiety, depression, guilt or shame or fear. And, some not so common reasons to go. Still acting out behaviors would be, lust or pornography, substance abuse, which includes drugs and alcohol problems, gambling, and maybe overeating. And then the why for these things, why do people do these things, or why do people succumb to all these different problems in their life, varies among a lot of people. But some of the most common that I came up with are, emotional abuse as a victim, maybe going through physical abuse as a victim, some other type of trauma in their life, um, could be some financial stress in their life, like what happened to me and my story. For those of you that kind of know my story, well, you'll get to read about it in the book that's coming out. So that'll kind of go through a lot of the trials and tribulations that I was, handed, and what I had to live through and go through and struggle through, um, you know, and or loss of a job, death of a loved one. I guess you could say death of a pet. That could be included in that. Codependency issues, and fighting with a spouse or a loved one. So those are kind of the whys that people have, the acting out behaviors that they do. But my thing is that people are so quick to say, "Well, I need to go to a psychiatrist or psychologist," or "I need to go get a life coach," or "I need to go get some spiritual healing done, which works on your mind, body, and spirit." There's different people out there that are the more, I'll call them, like natural remedy type people, the people that believe the universe is God type people. They get into all this healing and this specialized medicine, meditation stuff that they do. Some of them use like crystals and all kinds of oils and stuff like that. Um, you know, I'd even throw acupuncture in there, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I've done that in the past too, but so you got kind of all that, and then the dangerous stuff is, and this is what people don't think about, because they think that they're going to talk with their friend or whatever, and or somebody that they feel is close, they feel a connection to, because they're able to reveal things about their life to them, um, because they have gifts which allows them to, we'll say, talk to the other side. Um, like a psychic medium or some type of tarot card reader or a combination thereof. And what people don't realize is that when you talk to these type of people, they are not connecting with the dead. They are connecting with the spiritual realm. And a lot of times they are connecting with demons, and the demons are there too, and they're watching everything, and they're seeing your life, and they know everything about you because they've been kind of there too. People don't like to think of things like this, but there are very good forces in this world, and good spirits and angels and things that are here to protect you. And then there are some very evil things in this world and demonic type forces, which and bad, evil, spiritual beings or entities, we'll say. And it doesn't have to be like the Exorcist, where you get completely possessed, but a demon can still mess with you. And when you go to these tarot card readers, these psychic mediums, or let's just throw this out there too, because a lot of people know that this is wrong and they would never do this, but they don't put psychics and tarot card readers into the same box as I'm putting them in, which is with a Ouija board. You know, that's that Ouija board where you put your little hands on it, and your friends put the hands on it, and then the thing moves around, and then it moves around, and it spells stuff out, and it answers questions and stuff. That stuff is just pure evil, man. It's just you're inviting spirits into your life and opening doors that you do not know what is coming in. And it is some scary, spooky stuff here that you're talking about. Me personally, I want nothing to do with it. And I'll tell you, it's real. This stuff's real. When I was younger, um, I had a Ouija board. I asked it with my friends. We were all playing around with it. My parents were like not home, so I had a little party at my house. Where everybody was getting drunk and everything, because that's what we did. Um, so we had a Ouija board, and I remember asking it who I was going to marry. And it spelled out my wife's name and misspelled one letter. It was right. It was right. And it's some scary shit. And that wasn't like my grandmother telling me that stuff. That was a spirit. And we asked, are you a good spirit or are you a bad spirit? Of course it said it was a good spirit. You think an evil spirit's going to tell you it's an evil spirit? No. What's the devil do? He lies. He lies. You know? So when you go to these tarot card readers and you go to these, psychic mediums, I want you to picture like an empty room and picture like these ghosts in there with you that are demons, because that's what's in there with you when you open these doors up and you go and you let these demons, and then it gives the demons full access to your life, full access to your life. And of course the medium or the psychic can hear and can think what these demons are saying, and some of it they're just going to make up anyway. They're just going to make crap up. But some of it they probably can connect with the spiritual world, because you can connect with spiritual entity. It's because they got demons inside of them too. I'm telling you, like, you don't think about it like this, but like the whole like witches thing, like that's real, man. There's witchcraft out there. There's some dark magic out there. There's all kinds of stuff that comes from the devil, man. It all comes from the devil. It all comes from evil. It's all pure evil. And I'm just telling you, be very careful when you start thinking about, I want to know what my future entails, and I want to know what I got coming to me and stuff like that. Now I'm going to go over what you can do to do that same stuff, and what you can do to learn some of this stuff, including what does your future entail, and what is going to happen with your life, and stuff like that. You know, so instead of getting a life coach who's going to teach you how to live your life better, and how to eat better, and how to plan your day better, and how to whatever, wipe your behind better, whatever they want to have you do so that they can justify all the money that you're going to be sending to them. Okay. Same thing with a business coach, it's like they're going to tell you whatever they want you to hear. And some of it'll work, but you're going to be paying these people through the nose for this stuff. You're going to be buying all their crap. Like in my business in real estate, you're going to be buying their CRM, or their contact relationship management database, which costs, $49.99 a month. Then you're going to be buying their personalized letters that they send out to your clients once a month. And then you're going to get lazy and you're not going to want to mail them yourself, so you're going to have them mail them for you. So now it goes from $49.99 a month to another $49.99 a month, till you want postage too, so that's another $29.99 a month. And you see how this starts to add up. By the time you know it, you're paying this coach $200 a month, and then you're also getting coaching. You're getting coaching classes or lessons from them too. Well, that costs money too, because time is money. So now we got to pay for that too. All this stuff costs money, and people, they look at it and they're like, well, if I get a return on my investment, whatever. But there's another way that you can get the coach, the right coach. And so same thing with like marriage counselors. It's like you got problems with your marriage. You got to go to this special marriage counselors, pay them all this money and everything like that. Like there's other ways that you can do it. And let me see. So like the business coach, an example of like a success coach, these are the people that talk about firing you up and getting you on all cylinders and getting you to believe and getting you the power of your soul and all this stuff. you know that like the one I always use is Tony Robbins. you know he's really good at what he does, and he does get you fired up, and he even stimulates your heart to give you a feeling of what it's like to have the Holy Spirit inside of you. But it's not the Holy Spirit. It's not. He doesn't go that far. He just goes enough to get you kind of juiced up, like primed up. I wish he would take it to the next level, and I wish he would incorporate, God into his presentations and bring him in. I mean, imagine somebody with his um, his pool of people that he could motivate and inspire and bring them to God. Do you know how many people he could bring to God? The people that go to his conferences and stuff. I mean, and it's not just him. There's other Tony Robbinses out there, you know, that can do this stuff and can bring people to Christ. If they really wanted to, and they would stop being so ashamed at being a Christian, you know. And if he's not a Christian, he should be a Christian. And maybe I need to sit down and have a talk with him and explain to him, and maybe give him my book when it comes out, and he can read that and then see if he wants to be a Christian or not. Because, where are you going at the end of the day? Are you going to heaven, or are you going to hell? You know? And you got opportunity to help so many people, and you're squandering your opportunity to help so many people, but, God can help you with every single thing that I just talked about. Every single thing. He can help you with worry, with anger, with anxiety, with depression, with guilt or shame, with fear, with lust and pornography, with substance abuse, with gambling, with overeating. He can help you with healing your mind, body, and spirit. He can help show you prophetic messages about your future and give you the discernment through wisdom, through downloaded wisdom from him. Once you believe and once you take your walk with Jesus, these are some of the higher level type things that you can experience, is seeing, glimpses and messages, generalized messages of what your future could be, and picking and choosing through discernment which ones to listen to and which ones not to listen to. But knowing that, there's evil out there too. There's a lot of tarot cards. There's a lot of these evil entity spirits. As soon as I see the tarot card, it's up to the next one, up to the next one, up to the next one. I'm not watching that crap. That's witchcraft. I don't want anything to do with that. I want to do with God. But there's a couple people that are prophetic, in their messages to me, and I always watch every single thing that they say, because it applies to me so much. And there's a couple that stand out. I'm not going to name them here, but there's a couple that stand out, and I just watch it, and they just encourage me. They just give me that extra, push of confirmation of what is to come. Like, I know what's coming, and I don't want to put it out there yet. Once everything happens and everything comes together, I'll go back and talk about how I knew it and how I saw it, because I've saved a lot of these videos that they've done, and I can prove that, through the messages I received, I could see what was coming and see the future, through doing it this way. And but I have all that there. And in terms of a life coach, in terms, I couldn't think of a better coach to have than Jesus. I mean, are you kidding me? What better coach out there is there than Jesus? And see, when you believe in God, you literally get Jesus right in here. He stays in here. He walks with you hand in hand every single day. And he will be right by your side to help you with whatever you need, whatever you're going through, whatever you need to talk about, whatever you need to discuss. He's there for you. And he's there to, forget these, the universe says everything's God crap. You know, everything's not God. God is God, okay? God is God. You know, the tree is not God. The tree is a tree, okay? And, the rainbow that you see in the sky is not God. It's a rainbow, okay? Did God create the rainbow? Yeah, he probably did. But the rainbow itself is not God. And that's the difference with some of these people out there. They think everything's God, and it's not. Um, so, mind, body, and spirit. This is what God helps you with. He helps you clear your mind just by believing in Him, and just by submitting yourself and submitting your will to Him, and surrendering your life over to Him, and just turning everything over to Him. Everything over to Him. It lets Him live your life. This life that I live, that you live, it's nobody, it's not our life. I don't live, this isn't my life. This is God's life. Your life is God's life. Your spouse's life is God's life. Your friend's life is God's life. Every life out there is God's life. And people just need to submit themselves over and understand that it's not your life that you're living. You're living for God. And you need to do what God tells you to do. And you need to do what Jesus tells you to do. And you need to do what you know is right. And you need to stop doing what you know is wrong. You know? And God will heal you. God will take away the number one thing that causes almost everything. The number one thing on all these lists that causes almost all of the mental health problems out there in this country, okay, is one word, and that is fear. It's fear of the unknown. It's fear of everything. And see, when you walk with God and you walk with Jesus, you don't have any fear. Fear's gone. There's nothing to be scared of because he says no weapon formed against you will prosper. So, what that means is literally any weapon that's formed against you will not prosper. That's people coming against you, that's verbal assault attacks coming against you, that's people talking behind your back, that's and literally trying to kill you. He will protect you because he decides when it's your time to go. He decides. You don't decide. That's how you can wind up getting shot 10 times and you still live because God decided that wasn't your time. He wanted you here for a reason, for a bigger purpose, to discover what his purpose is for you. That is what your purpose is. That is what everyone's purpose is of being here in this world, in this life. Is number one, it's an audition. Number one, your life is nothing but an audition to see if you have what it takes to be worthy enough to enter heaven. That's number one. Okay? Number two, your life here is you are here to discover what your purpose is from God. And everybody has a different purpose. Everybody has a special purpose why they're here. And it's very hard to figure that out without God. Very hard to figure that out without God. You need him to help you discover your special purpose. And then number three, we're here because we are all, and this is all Christians, are called to bring people back to Christ. All of us are called to do that. And it's through doing little things like wearing this hat. Maybe somebody will see it and strike up a conversation with me. And then I'll start talking about Jesus. And the next thing you know, once I get my book out, I can hand them a copy of my book. I'm going to carry a box of them in the car and just hand them out, tell them they need to read it. Free gift from me. And, people need to understand how serious this is and what our mission is as Christians. It is to find God, it is to love God, it is to honor God, and it is to submit to God, surrender to God, and do what he tells us to do. It is as simple as that. If everybody on earth would just do that and just submit and just listen and just do what you need to do and follow the way of Jesus who's with you every day showing you the ropes, And look, if what you're doing, you don't know if you should be doing it or not, then ask yourself this: pretend like Jesus is right there next to you, and say, is this something that Jesus would do? Or is this something that is going to make Jesus happy that I do? And if the answer is no, then just don't do it. You know? It's a good rule to live your life by. Is this something Jesus would do? Would Jesus be happy if I did this? You're sitting there watching TV, watching some crappy program with all kinds of profanity and, bad messaging and everything else in it. And you think it's funny and it's joking and ha ha ha. Well, is that something Jesus would want to watch? Probably not. So, like, why are you watching it? It's not good to pollute your mind with these demonic messages, and these just filthy things, which is what 90% of television is. You know, what they need one of those late night shows, but they need a show that's on at like 8 o'clock. The families could watch, and they have the host on there, and they bring on guests onto the show, and some famous celebrities, I guess, movie stars, whatever, and ones that are comfortable with it, politicians. I mean, everybody who has any kind of pool in the world, like a Tony Robbins, and bring them on and put them on the spot and ask them about their belief in God and talk about their belief in God and know that they're going to be talking about their belief in God, and that other people in this world will watch that show and they will see how many people out there believe in God and are good Christian people. And then you have a little band on there, and maybe it doesn't always have to be a Christian rock band, you know, but have a Christian rock band on, you know, or have a band on that has a inspiring message with their songs, as the musical guest. Let's change this whole nighttime 11:30 at night, bunch of crap that's just demonic, music, promoting that and promoting all these stupid people's movies, and shows, and nobody cares. Nobody cares about all that crap anymore. The world is changing. We're getting more out of all that and more into God and more into media and more into podcasts and more into, you know, and maybe you set it up as a podcast. Maybe it doesn't even have to be a TV show. Save some money. Have people interview each other on Zoom or whatever. I mean, use technology to your benefit. They don't have to be in person every time. I mean, it'd be cool if they would, because it'd be cool to see that interaction. And if you're looking for a host, I'd love to do it. But I mean, I just think, like, how cool would it be to have a show like that and then air it on prime time, and have it as a family show on a big network. Or if they don't want it, maybe we put it on a Christian network and we put these stars on the Christian network and these politicians and all these other people. Maybe we do that. Just a thought. Just a thought. Um, you know, it's to get the word out. That would get the word out. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're called to do as Christians, is get the word out, get the message out that God is here. He's here to stay. He rules the world, not just the USA, the world. He rules Russia. He rules China. He rules North Korea. He rules Africa. He rules everything. Mexico, Europe, the United Kingdom. Mr. King and Queen and Prince and all you people, you ain't nothing. God's got you. He controls it all. That's where your life needs to be, is in God's hands. Not some psychiatrist, not some psychologist, not some life coach, career coach, success coach, marriage coach. Try God first. Try God first. By God, try God. Because God is free. He's convenient. He's always there listening to you in the comfort of your own home. Whenever you want, you can always talk to him. Whenever. It costs nothing. All you have to do is just reach out to him. All you have to do is just talk to him. All you have to do is just put out your problems. Let him know what you're struggling with. Let him know what you need help with. Let him know how to help you. Pray about it. Just talk to him. Doesn't have to be some formal thing. Just, go to your private room by yourself, close the doors, and just start talking to God. Start talking to him like he's your father, because he is. He's the father. To me, he's the father I never had. I don't have a father. I got him. He's my father. I mean, that's the key to success, is God, having God. That's the key. That's the secret sauce. That's what people pay millions of dollars for, to get their problem solved, right? Well, this solves it, and he'll solve your problem, and you won't have to take medications. You won't have to take, sorry, pharmaceutical companies. Sorry, big farm. Don't need medications when you got God. He'll fix it. He'll fix you completely. He'll heal you completely from the inside out.